Hello, this is Craig from bestbox.co.uk. In this video we're going to look at October's issue of the new monthly White Dwarf magazine. So as you see, I've got it here and I've not opened it. As with the last video, this will be my first look through the magazine. So I've just got some scissors here just to cut it open. So this month we do have a free gift again. And the free gift, which we'll have a look at first, is Will of Iron. So this is a free little comic book, and this is a prologue to the upcoming 40k comic book series. It's quite thin, but it does feel like there's quite a few pages there. I'm not going to go through each page of the comic, but I'll have a quick flick through. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of some of the artwork in these comics from what I've seen, but you know, this will look pretty cool. There's a little bit about how they draw up the comics in the back as well, so pretty cool little free gift. Well, it's good that I'm keeping up with the free gifts in the White Dwarf. I know next month has a little something to go with the Total War game, which will be being able to use the White Dwarf himself in Total War, but that's next month. In the meantime, we're going to look at October. So on the front we have GENESTEALER cults. So a little bit about them. There's a battle report featuring them versus the Death Watch, I believe. And there's also some classic golden demons. So let's get straight into it. So again, I'm going to do page by page. So we've got White Dwarf team as usual. A little bit from the editor. And then the contents. So we won't go too much into the contents because we're just going to look through every page. Anyway. So for Planet Warhammer, it's all mainly just going to be GENESTEALER cults. So the upcoming Goliath, really nice looking vehicle. It's a really sweet model. £35, not bad. It's quite large, so I quite like the rock grinder variant. I think that's pretty cool. We've got the Brood Coven, which is essentially the characters from Death Watch Overkill just put in a box. £37.50 for that. I think that's quite expensive actually. I'm sure we sell these, we do sell these individually on the website, and I'm sure they don't come to nowhere near that price. So yeah, you're probably better off just buying the Overkill box set, really. So we've got the hybrids, the acolytes and the neophytes. Really looking forward to getting these in stock. Lots of great bits be able to sell on them. Not looking forward to photographing all the individual bits as much, mind you. We have a light gun ward, it's just a separate, I assume a multi-plastic character with a banner. It's pretty cool to see like a banner bearer in 40k. We're so used to seeing BSBs in like the old fantasy edition, and now we're sort of getting something similar. 40k is pretty cool. You have the neophyte hybrid squad, essentially some Cadian sprues with the GENESTEALER cult upgrade sprue, and same with these as well, with the LEMAN, RUSS and the Chimera squad. Then of course there's the codex, data cards and how to paint. It's rumoured that these are the last set of data cards available, and they're going to be discontinued soon. For shame, I do quite like using the data cards, but I think maybe GW are going to try and push the app a bit more. So model of the month is Stormcast Errant Questo. I think he was the exclusive miniature from Warhammer World. As I say here, that was the first Stormcast miniature release what doesn't actually have a helmet. So that's quite interesting. It's quite interesting actually. When you look through like Space Marines and stuff like that, there's always like guys without a helmet. Yeah, there's a whole Stormcast range, and he's the first one not to, and you don't have to worry about gunfire as much as guys in 40k either, so that's quite interesting. So there's a couple of new releases for Hobbit actually, which is quite interesting. Dane, Ironfoot. I guess there's two different variations of him. Quite interesting. We haven't had much from Hobbit for a while. And we also have the new texture paints. So the texture paints are being put in larger bottles, and they're also changing the contents of them. So just say here they've replaced the grit with plastic microbeads, which is quite interesting because there's a bit of controversy around plastic microbeads at the moment. But they give you a nice, more even texture, which I'm sure it'll look nice, but I do quite like the randomness that these texture paints give. It sort of looks a bit more realistic, but at the same time, if they're going to be easier to use, then that's also great. I just kind of wish I haven't recently just bought a load. But I will be picking these up. So a little bit about the GENESTEALER Cult dice and the 40k comics as well. And then we have a section for Black Library. And a little bit about the PRIMARCH. Pretty cool. And another 5 questions interview. So I just want to move this very slightly. Let's just get in the way. A little bit about the Blood Angels, because of course they've had a lot of reboxings lately. And a little bit about the Arcane Heroes expansion for Silver Tower, which is really cool. So all the heroes from the app now have data cards which you can buy. So I might be picking that up. And I've got all the reboxed Blood Angel sets here. So this is the contact page, fan letters basically. I won't read for any of them, but some cool miniatures as well. I really like the Soul Grinder, very cool. So a little bit more about the 40k comic. And a little teaser of LEMAN RUSS, sort of his miniature, being released very soon. So in the Hall of Fame we have Smorg, beautiful model, something I've always wanted to pick up but haven't picked them up yet, and no doubt by the time I ever get around to picking them up they'll probably be available on eBay for hundreds of pounds, but beautiful model, massive model. It's really nice for him to put him in the spotlight a little bit. So the Army of the Month is a massive Space Wolves army. Now whilst I like seeing other people's armies in White Dwarf, I just really like heavily converted armies. And whilst there's a few dotted about here, it's just not like how it used to be in the old days where like people would have like almost every model converted, and there's just a lot of, you know, while these armies are nice, it's just, they're not much different from what you'd see in the codexes or box art, so it's a shame, but that's not to take away from the army because it is beautifully painted. And yeah, a nice little converted miniature there, or kit bashed. You know, more of that would be great, really. There's a little focus on some of the characters in the Thunderwolves. They really do fill a lot of pages with the Army of the Month, which is really cool. I've got a full army list there as well. So we have an interview with Jez Goodwin. So looking forward to reading that at a later date. Really cool. And it's quite a big interview as well by the looks of it, so that's really nice. I'm certainly quite looking forward to reading through this. Now just a little bit about GW Online. Who would have thought we'd see all this a few months ago? So it's really good that they're back on Facebook. So we're looking at another old White Dwarf. I really like this feature actually. Yeah, I've collected White Dwarf in the past for quite a few years. It's nice to see one that I did used to have. Yeah, it brings back some good memories, and you can see miniatures were released at the time. And even a little bit about the index status articles, which I really enjoyed. Now a little feature of armies on parade. It's a beautiful Skaven army. I absolutely love what they've done with the scenery there. That is really, really cool. I do really enjoy the armies on parade. And people make some really beautiful boards. This Chaos one is fantastic. I don't think how much it costs to build all this, but it's beautifully done. Have an Eldar one. Again though, whilst these armies on parade boards are very nice, they do appear to use a lot of GW scenery rather than scratch built stuff. I would like to see more scratch built terrain as well. Yeah, a little bit about all the Start Collecting boxes. Really, really good boxes. Not much more to say on them though, but yeah, no matter what army you play, I mean, there's pretty much a Start Collecting box available for them now, and the value of them is fantastic. Now the ultimate guide to Genestealer cults. So lots of information and photos and artwork surrounding Genestealer cults. Give all the different weapons there, which come in handy for when I need to take photographs of them all, so I know what they all are. And they have quite a lot of weapon options as well, which is really nice. So we have an exclusive mission as well. Always quite like when they add extra missions in the White Dwarfs. So it'd be a really cool one to use for Genestealer cult. Now we have a centerfold, so to speak. So a massive, I can't even get it all in shot, but essentially there's a load of city terrain with Genestealer Cult and Deathwatch. So that's pretty cool. The only thing about it is a bit of a nightmare to hold back in. And here's like that's basically essentially the terrain that we just saw. So this is what is being used in the battle report, so I assume that previous picture was from the battle report as well. Beautiful, beautiful board, but again it's just all GW scenery, just loads of it. And yeah, I think most of us wish we could afford to make something like this, but the reality is most of us won't be able to. But really, really looks lovely though. So yeah, it's nice that they have used such a really nice game board for their battle report as well, and visually really good. So the illuminations, this is the artwork feature, and it's looking at champions this time, so got a Kaon and a L'Oreal. There's also going to be Age of Sigmar. So we've got Gordrak, Glotkin as well. Pretty cool. So now we're looking at Golden Demons. And Slayer Sword, winner miniature, is just so nice. Really love the colours. And the boat as well is just really, really cool. A worthy winner, definitely. And I do really enjoy the Golden Demon sections. The standard is just ridiculous. So Tale of Four Warlords continues this month. So we can see how each force has expanded, starting with a Sylvaneth. And then we've got a really cool blue Nurgle army. Now got some Blight Kings who look really nice in the blue. So yeah, I really like that. You won't see many blue Nurgle armies, but It's definitely my favourite army out of the 4. Just so nice. Forces of Death expanding as well, with some really cool looking crypt horrors. Even a little bit on how they've been painted as well. And have they done that on... Sorry, I didn't even notice them on the other ones, but yeah, it's really nice that they do add just little painting guides for them as well. And the Forces of Distraction with some more brutes. So in Sprues and Glue, this is a little hobbying section. It's all about combining GENESTEALER Cult with Astra Militarum stuff. There's a kit bash on the Goliath truck as well. Looks really, really cool. I wouldn't really want to have that much crew on the Goliath, because it would mean having to paint them all, but yeah, that's really nice. So Paint Splatter is looking at layering and highlighting and extreme edge highlights. Can't say I'm a fan of the extreme edge highlighting, but it's called extreme edge highlighting for a reason. But I think that's maybe just a little bit too extreme on the Death Watch, but it's nice that it's still mentioned for people who like that scheme. And when you look at it on the Death Company here, it actually looks really nice. So maybe it's just one of the things that, until you get all the other colours on, it just looks a bit too extreme. That's really cool. They're showing how to paint Blood Angels and GENESTEALER Cult as well. And a little bit on painting faces. And they really go into detail on every area, so that is really cool, because obviously it's something that, it's an area that a lot of people, almost all of us, will paint at some stage. So in Blanjitsu we have just some more beautiful models from John Blanche. It's just, you know, I love his conversions and his paint. It's sort of the way he paints as well, it's beautiful. Really cool. But every time I see his stuff, and I think I mentioned it in the last video, it just makes me miss the old Inquisitor game. Because that sort of style is just really nice. So in the parade ground we're looking at a Stormcast Eternal army. Really beautiful blue and gold army. And then we have Reader's models, and that Riptide just stands straight out. Really nice. I love the bases on the Hobbit miniatures as well. Yeah, the standard of miniatures that people send in is just incredible. So hats off to anyone who has their work featured in White Dwarf, because it's beautiful stuff. And the Reader's Model of the Month is Vulcan. That just looks fantastic. And lastly there's a little bit about Warhammer World, and then a little section at the back called the White Dwarf Guide. And then lastly in the bunker, just looking at a few hero models for Silver Tower. So that is another month of White Dwarf. But yeah, the content's great. There's still a little few issues I have, like just lack of conversions and scratch built terrain. You know, I understand GW wanting to push more of their own stuff, especially regarding terrain, but hopefully we'll see a bit more sort of scratch build and stuff in the future. Because there is a tendency, you don't want the armies just to look like a catalogue really, you want them to showcase of people's abilities and in regards to conversion and painting, rather than just showing off GW models painted as you'd see on the box. But that said, you know, the content is still vastly improved over what it was over the last few years, so really good, and the GENESTEALER cult stuff looks amazing. So that was a page-by-page review of the White Dwarf magazine, and if you enjoyed this video, I'd be ever so grateful if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos and stay up to date with everything on this channel, then please subscribe. So, all that's left to say is thank you for watching, and I will see you all again in the next video.